And we are live. Welcome to the channel. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football purist, for the deep thinkers. This is the channel for the critical thinkers. And today, of all days, you're going to need your thinking cap on today, people. Welcome to the channel for the football thinkers. This is, of course, your Wednesday evening Manchester United news and talk show. Big up, everybody. We have a lot of news to get through. We have some juicy conversations that we need to have. We are going to talk about the manager, and as you can see on the thumbnail, guys, free Kobbie Mainoo. That has been the talk that has exploded the internet, exploded Twitter, as I will continue to call it and not X. Free Kobbie Mainoo. I did say, guys, in about 2 or 3 months, some of you who love Kobbie Mainoo are going to start turning on Kobbie, and it has begun. So we are going to talk about Kobbie Mainoo today. Of course, we're going to talk about the aftermath of the draw. We haven't spoken to each other since Monday, guys, and this is Wednesday. We didn't have a show yesterday, so we haven't actually talked about the aftermath of the draw against Bournemouth. So we're going to go through the manager's thoughts about the game, some of which I actually agree with, guys. So stay tuned. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the manager. So we're going to go through the manager's thoughts about the game and his perspective. Also, he's spoken about the leaks. There are leaks at Manchester United. Somebody leaked the system beforehand, guys. So we're going to talk about that as well. And of course, guys, I'm aware of the Bruno Fernandes quotes. Bruno has had an interview recently, and there are a lot of quotes from the interview that we need to discuss. And as usual, guys, stay tuned. I will give my usual deep, thought-provoking analysis on his quotes. So we're going to have to talk about the quotes, guys, because the Bruno quotes are very, very interesting. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to talk about Amrin's perspective on the game. We're going to lean into, have a good conversation as a community about Kobbie Mainoo and Kobbie Mainoo's brother and that t-shirt and everything that has come out from it. We're going to talk about those quotes from Bruno Fernandes, and I'm going to give my thoughts. You're going to give me your opinions as usual. So start commenting below. Big up the chat already. I see Turkish modding the chat already. Also, we have Ahmad coming out talking about the systems. We have United raising appeal. United are raising an appeal to FIFA with regards to Mazraoui not being available in the last game. So that's some news at the back of the show. And also we're gonna have a quick talk about Baleba. Baleba's come out and he's spoken about whether essentially the summer has affected his game this season. So we're going to end on just 2 points, but the major talking points that we are going to go through, guys, is of course the Bruno quotes and the Kobbie Mainoo situation. So like I said, stay tuned, guys. I will give my usual deep analysis, and you know me, I'm probably going to say things that other YouTubers haven't said. I'm probably going to have an opinion that's quite different to others, and I guess that's why you guys tune into the show, because you know Wizzy will give something unique. I will give a different perspective on everything. So big up everybody. Big up everybody. This is going to be a good show. A lot for us to get through. If you are new, smash the like. If you are old, smash the like. If you are young, smash the like. If you are male, smash the like. If you are female, smash the like. Basically, smash the like turn on your notifications and subscribe to this great, amazing, new, fresh channel, because it is the best thing to do if you like to think about things. On this channel, we say what we see and not just how we feel. So big up everybody. Let's get straight into the manager's quotes, the manager's thoughts after the Bournemouth game. And I'm pretty sure, just like me, you guys were frustrated. I don't think I was angry after the Bournemouth draw. I was more disappointed. That's what I was. We deserved to win that game. Based on the first half performance, especially the first 20 minutes of the first half, where in my opinion, that was arguably some of the best football we have played under Ruben Amorim. The first 20 minutes, whether it was because Bournemouth haven't woken up yet, Bournemouth are figuring out what we were doing, whether it was because the manager tweaked his system a little bit, whatever the reason is, I will leave it up to you to decide. But the first 20 minutes against Bournemouth was some of the best football we've seen from this manager. It wasn't a great performance for the 90 minutes, but the first 20 minutes, guys, the first 20 minutes. And that is why in my match reaction, I said, do you know what? I might be Amorim out, but that draw is not on Amorim today. It isn't. So this is what the manager had to say after the game. It was a fun game to watch for everyone at home. And I think that's true. That first line, I think we can all agree, even as Man United fans, listen, as Man United fans, it might not be fun for us. It might be more torture. But from a neutral, to sit and watch a 4-4 game, that must have been quite fun. So yeah, I agree with the first line. He goes on to say, if you look at the game, you can think we lost the 2 points in the second half. But I think we lost the 2 points in the first half. We should have scored more goals. That's very interesting, guys. First and foremost, as I usually do, let me know if you agree with that sentiment. And if you don't agree, let me know why. Let me know why. I kind of agree with the manager here. And here's my usual assessment of it. We had chances to score more goals in the first half. That is true. Our XG, even though I don't like to use the word use stats and XG, I use XG, I use stats to back up what I see with my eyes, not the initial evidence. The initial evidence is always my eyes, and then I use the stats to back it up. I saw Bruno miss 2 really good chances. Some people say the chances weren't that good. I disagree. I think he should have got at least one of those volleys on target. I think we had chances to make the right pass, but we were selfish at times. I think in the first half, we could have easily been 3-0 up. And I think at the time, I said this. At half time, if you're new to the channel or old to the channel, if you were here doing a watch along with me, at half time, I said, listen, we should be 3-1 up. And based on the way we are playing, I reckon we could score a few more goals. That was the consensus. So it was very, very surprising, or was it surprising, that we started the second half the way that we started it and we conceded 2 goals. I say it was surprising based on the way that we played in the first half, but it wasn't surprising based on the stats that we've talked about on this channel, which is that we do not win second halves. We either draw or lose the second half of games. That is a fact. Apart from one game, I believe it might have been the Wolves game that we played recently. But apart from one game, we have lost or drawn the second half of every single game we have played this season, right? So nothing different happened. Nothing different happened. We lost the second half of that game, like we always do every single game. So based on that, we should have expected it, no? But I also agree. I agree with the manager that we should have almost wrapped the game up in the first half. We should have scored more goals in the first half. So in that respect, I agree that Yeah, we lost the game in the second half, but at the same time, I also think it's a cop out from the manager because technically speaking, we were winning the game in the first half, and we actually lost the game in the second half by conceding 2 goals in 5 minutes. We did that against Tottenham, 2 goals in 5 minutes. We conceded 2 goals in 5 minutes against Nottingham Forest. We do that regularly. That is what we do. So I kind of agree with the manager, and I will say, because I am quite harsh on Amorim, I will say I don't really believe that the draw against Bournemouth is fully on Amorim. I don't believe. I think the players this time have to take responsibility for starting the second half the way they started it, because I'm kind of refusing to believe that Ruben Amorim at halftime says to these players, "Go on, concede 2 goals. Go on, start the second half and go on and concede 2 goals." I don't think the manager says this to them. I don't think he does. So it was a crazy game for the neutral, but I think for the first time in a while, I'm not going to be jumping on the manager's back. I'm not going to be. Big up Tim in the chat. Hey, crazy game. Shame about the defending. Need our experienced defenders back, says Tim. I agree, Tim. I agree with you back. We missed the lit. I like Heaven. I like the young defenders. They've got a future, but we do miss the Delits of this world. We do miss him. I like Delit, and I feel like he is underappreciated by some sections of the fan base. So big up Tim. When you give up 3 leads in a game, you don't deserve the 3 points, says TK. Well, there you go. And that's what we did. We gave up 3 leads in this game. So that's the manager coming out there. Let's see what else the manager has said before we go on to the sort of juicy Bruno quotes and other things. So this also came to my attention, guys. Let me know what you think about this. I don't know if I have a strong opinion about this, but let's read on. Let's try to understand what's going on, because this is circulating now in the Manchester United sphere. It goes like this: Man United have launched an internal inquiry into how Ruben Amorim's plans to tweak his 3-2-4-1 system. Why have they why have they done it a 3-2-4-1 system? That's not even the system at all. That's not the system that we play. It's not a 3-2-4-1 at all. If anything, you can call it a 3-4-2-1, but it's not a 3-2-4-1. So that's a bit strange that they've done it that way. But anyway, let's read on, guys. Let's read on. Amorim's plan to tweak his 3-2-4-1 system leaked out on the day of the Bournemouth game, according to this person. First and foremost, the squad system and formation leaking out on the day of the game is not actually the biggest thing in the world. I mean, you're playing the game today. If the formation was leaked the day before or 2 days before, I think I would have more of an issue. But if you're playing on a Monday and the formation was leaked on Monday morning, okay, it doesn't. Okay, let's read on anyway before I start, thinking and formulating my opinions. However, news of a change was circulated on Monday afternoon, and United are concerned that it gave Bournemouth advance notice of their game plan and the day of the match. The club are determined to find out where the leak came from to stop it from happening again in the future. I'm told by sources the formation leak was harmful in the lead up to the game. Why was it harmful? We outplayed them in the first 20 minutes. We slapped them around. We should have really beat. We should have been beaten Bournemouth 3 goals within the first 20 minutes the way that we were playing. So I don't agree that it was harmful. I don't agree that formation leaks a couple hours before the game is that a bigger deal, because most people will know how you play, and the formation tweak wasn't the biggest tweak. All we really did is move Ahmad, into the midfield, and didn't stop. We stopped Ahmad from essentially coming back into the wing back position. He didn't have to fall back in the wing back position as much, and he joined the midfield more. So in some passages of play, not all, some passages of play, we adopted a more 4-4-2 2 formation with Mason Mount on the left, Ahmad on the right, and Cunha and Bumo up front. We saw that formation in parts, in periods of the game. And we also, we did revert back to the 3 at the back. We did see Lenny Euro, Heaven and Shaw as a 3 at the back with Dallo and Ahmad as wing backs. But what we did also see was Mason Mount join Casemiro and Bruno in the midfield 3. So essentially what I'm saying is that in one game, we have the same sort of system, but we have different formations adopted within the same game. So it's quite interesting when the manager says he won't change. While he hasn't fully changed, we didn't see a 4-3-3, but within his system, he has little tweaks. Move Ahmad a bit further up here. Bring Mason Mount back here in midfield. He has a little tweaks, and I think that's a good thing. I've criticized the manager a lot for being unflexible, and I'd still prefer that he was more flexible, but we can't lie and say that we haven't at least seen the manager do small tweaks with his system. He has. We saw it Monday. We all saw it Monday. It was slightly different. So we have to give credit where credit is due. He says he will change and he will adapt in his own way when he's ready. We're kind of seeing it a little bit. So once again, I'm not going to go hard on the manager right now because he's done something. Even though we drew Monday, he showed me 1 or 2 little things to make me think, do you know what? I still would prefer a different manager. I still would prefer a better manager, but you didn't show too much stubbornness. You brought on Kobbie Mainoo for Casemiro rather than Ugarte. So he's shown a bit of flexibility a little bit, and that is what I was scared of. I was scared of the manager's rigidness. You can't win anything by just That's not how you win. You have to be you gotta be flexible, baby. So if this manager continues doing stuff like this, like I said on this channel, we're not just hating for hating's sake. I'm objective. I don't like this manager based on certain things. If he starts doing certain things, I will take it back and I'll be like, okay, Amram, I see you, baby. Let's go. So it is what it is, guys. Big up Shivs. I see Shivam in the chat. Big up Shiv. How you doing, my guy? Shiv the biz. TK up in the biz. Do you think that these players always purposely bottles the game when we have a chance to go top 4? Maybe the manager thinks he won't. I don't think no player, no footballer on this planet purposely wants to lose a football match, unless they think losing a match gets the manager out. Then they will down tools. Not Casemiro, not Bruno, not Ahmad, not Cunha, not all these ballers. None of these guys, in my opinion, go out to ever want to lose on purpose. Things just happen. The goals that we conceded, mistakes. Shaw and Mason Mount on that left-hand side, I have no idea what they were doing. Goal conceded. The free kick that we conceded, Lemens, I have no idea what he was doing. Goal conceded. Some of the goals we conceded, guys, let's contextualize things. We're just individuals being bozos. And that's why, once again, a lot of the defeats, a lot of the bad results, I put on a manager. This time, maybe not so much. Not so much, Shiv. That's me, Shivs. That's what I think. The players are not collectively poor, because my issue, Shivam, with calling the players collectively poor is that when we win, a lot of people want to say the manager's the reason why we win. And when we lose, it's the players. And I'm always like, we can't do that. We can't see Brandon Bumo smacking the ball, playing out of his skin, and all of these players. We can't see the finish that Mason Mount had, that individual brilliance finish that Mason Mount did. We can't see that free kick that Bruno had, that beautiful individual brilliant free kick into the top corner. Those are individual brilliant moments that the players are pulling out of their asses, to make us win games. We can't say When we win, it's the manager, but when we lose, the players have down tools. I feel like we just need to put a bit more collectively critical thinking into how we analysed our games and not be so black and white. I try not to be so black and white with our approach. That's me. Leaks suggest unhappy campers. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Tim. Usually, when you do get leaks, it's because people are not happy, or people are now happy that the system has changed. Or when we used to when we got leaks under Ollie, people were saying it was Maguire. Remember Maguire, and Maguire's agent used to leak so many things, and it was Rashford leaking things apparently, and then it was the goalkeeper that now plays for Sunderland, whatever his name is, Henderson was leaking things, and all of these things. There's all these leaks, guys. One thing that I feel like is good that's happened since Ineos have come, I feel, and I don't know, it's not based on any stats. It's just feelings. I feel that there's less leaks now than there were before. That could just be me, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, Team TK Turkish, the T's. The T's. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's move on. Quickly. Let's talk quickly about Bruno Fernandes, guys. This and the Kobbie Mainoo situation has blown up over the last few days, and I'm gonna let's find out what's happened. Let's actually find out what he said before we get our knickers in a twist, before we start being emotional, before I give my assessment, before you guys tell me what's up and what's down. Let's take a look at what he's actually said. He's given a long interview, but these are, I guess, the condensed quotes that a lot of people are talking about. And Bruno Fernandes divides opinion, as you know, guys. You either love him or you hate him. He is Marmite. Anyway, he says, Man United wanted me to leave last summer. I have that in my head. Full stop. That's a bold statement. The Manchester United captain has come out after a game that we've drawn to claim that the Man United wanted him to leave this summer. Do you believe that? Do you believe Man United wanted him to leave, or do you believe Bruno himself wanted to leave? Let's read on, people. I told the directors this, but I think they didn't have the courage to make that decision. I don't understand what that means. Man United wanted me to leave. I have that in my head. I told the directors this. What did you tell the directors? Because the Man United directors are Man United. So they're the ones that want you to leave. So what did you tell them? If they want you to, so they wanted you to leave, but they didn't actually make the decision. So how do you know they wanted you to leave? Because Man United directors, they want me to leave, right? While at the same time, he's saying they didn't have the courage to make the decision. So how do you know they want you to leave if they didn't actually pull the trigger on it? Did they say to you, listen, I want you to leave, but guess what? We're not going to make you leave. Because if they wanted you to leave, surely you would have left. No? No? All right, let's read on, guys. Those are just my initial thoughts, guys. Let's read on. I decided to stay. So Bruno Fernandes, said he decided to stay. So even though Man United wanted you to leave, you took it upon yourself to stay. Okay. Also because of family reasons, but because I genuinely like the club. Well, yeah, you are our captain, bro. You are our captain. You telling us that you like the club is just okay, great. The conversation with the manager also made me stay. But from the club side, I felt a bit like if you leave, it's not so bad for us. What it actually sounds like to me is that the club left it up to him. This is how my brain is registering this, guys. so far. We'll continue reading the rest of it, but it sounds as if the club were not fighting to keep him. Usually, if you want to keep someone, you say he's not for sale under no circumstances, F off. That's what the club would say. But the club didn't do that. The club just left it open. And the club said, if you want to leave, then leave. I think that's what hurt Bruno. I think Bruno was hurt by the fact that the club basically said, you can leave if you want. And that then when he heard that, he was like, I can leave if I want. You guys are not fighting to keep me. I get all of these stats. I'm the stat padder here. I do all of these things. I take the free kicks. I think he was more, his ego was hurt that United said to him he can leave if he wants to. Because the way he's talking in this, tell me if I'm wrong, guys, it sounds as if when he says no decision was being made, they didn't have the courage to come out and say it. It sounds as if they were just like, let's just sit back and see what happens. But Bruno decided to stay. And when Bruno decided to stay, the club went, cool. Bruno decides to stay. We'll keep him. That's how it sounds to me. Let me know if I am wrong with my assessment or whether you guys see it differently, because this channel is not about me. I will give my thoughts, but I need your thoughts. I need your opinions so I can have a more well-rounded opinion. I need you guys to tell me that I'm wrong, please. He goes on to say, guys, it hurts me a lot, more than hurting. It makes me sad because I'm a player. They have nothing to criticize about. That's what he thinks. He thinks Bruno actually believes that he's a perfect player that the club have nothing to criticize about, and he's a perfect little student, perfect little pupil, and therefore he shouldn't be treated like this. It's good that when players say these things, because we start to get into their minds and understand how their brains work. He goes on to say, people, I'm always available. I always play, good or bad. Stop. So he's admitting that he has bad games while saying that we have nothing to criticize about. How do the two things match up, guys? Explain to me how he knows, he's fully aware, and we've seen Man United finish 15th last season. He was our captain. He was sent off 3 times in 1 month. Let's not forget, let's not rewrite history. He was appalling last year, like the rest of the team. Ahmad, Lenny Euro were probably the 2 standout performers last season in the worst season we've ever had. Our captain, that was the worst season for him. He was absolutely dreadful, right? He was. While at the same time saying he plays good, sometimes he plays bad. He says it himself, while saying we have nothing to criticize him about. I don't know if the two actually match up personally, but we will read on. I give my all. That is something that we have to agree. Whether you like Bruno or you do not like Bruno, I have to say that Bruno, whether we can talk about him not being good in a double pivot, his defensive awareness, all these things, he lets too many players run off the back of him. We can see too many goals because of it. But nobody can say that Bruno does not give his all, bro. Bruno runs and runs and runs, bro. There's one thing I will not take away from Bruno. He cares and he acts like he cares. And that's why the fans like him. So we have to be objective here. Let's be honest. He fights. He does. And that's why he's our captain. He goes on to say, then you see things around you, players who don't value the club as much and don't defend the club as much. That makes you sad. So once again, just like his Portuguese friend, Ruben Amorim, he's kind of using other players to prop himself up. He's saying, look at all of these, there's some players when I look around that are not like me, that don't hold the club as high as me. Why is our captain saying this? Why is the captain of Manchester United even talking about his fellow colleagues like this? I don't know. I don't know. But I just feel like Bruno's played slightly better this season. He's still at fault for a lot of the things that happen in the midfield because that's not his position. He's not a double pivot player, right? And it's unfortunate for him that he's played in that position that's not really his. He's been played out of position, right? And we're not getting the best out of him, really. So, in one, you have to understand that it's not his fault. That's the manager that's playing him there, right? And I understand that. So we have to compartmentalize that. But he's played better this year, but he still hasn't played great. He's now been played in a position where we can actually upgrade on him. And the position that he probably wants to play in, the 2 10s, we have Cunha and we have Mbumo that probably suit that position a bit better. So now he's in a position where his role, he's not needed. He's not a necessity. He can now be replaced, and I feel like he can feel it. I feel like Bruno can feel it. I also want to ask the chat about players coming out with statements like this. Because if this was a Pogba, and I'm always going to use Pogba because Pogba is the stick that the fans. Pogba is just a stick that the fans use to beat, or people beat Pogba with a stick, or people use Bruno to beat Pogba with. And I just think with the Pogba's agent stuff, anytime Pogba came out with something, people used to say, "Wrong time. It's a wrong time. Why is he coming out saying these things now? Why is he coming out?" And they used to police the timing of when you could speak. Police the timing of when you can stand up for yourself. And me personally, as somebody who is anti-capitalist, I believe that all players should come out and defend themselves. I believe all players have the right to come out and defend themselves. I'm not a believer of the whole, I'm going to punch you in your face as your boss and you can't even put your hands up to block. I'm not a believer of football teams like Man United saying what they want about players, creating narrative about players, like a Mainoo or a Sancho, for instance, and the players have to sit there and just take it and not try to form their own narrative. So I'm not going to go against Bruno for coming out and just speaking what I believe his truth is. I'm not going to go against him because I'm an anti-capitalist and I believe you should always speak up against the bigger entity, which is the football club. But I do query why there isn't a lot of negativity about the timing of this, considering that United fans, the gatekeepers, always used to say, "Oh, this is not the right time to be talking about this. Why is he attacking the club?" All of these things that other players would have been criticized for, I don't think Bruno will be, personally, or not as much anyway. So let me know what you guys think about this. I kind of given my opinion of it. I think Bruno has been a good servant for Manchester United over the 5-6 years. I remember the situations, the conditions that we bought Bruno. He's not supposed to be a double pivot player. We didn't buy him because of that. His role has changed. He's very inconsistent, but a lot of our players are inconsistent. He comes up with a lot of stats. He takes all of our free kicks. He takes our corners. So he's always going to be a stat padder. I think before we signed him, most of us spoke about him and we all agreed, as a fan base, genuinely agreed, not all of us, but genuinely agreed that this guy's going to get a lot of stats. He is a stat padder, but he won't necessarily give us good 90-minute performances. And that's what we saw. That's what we've seen over the last 5-6 years. Not necessarily always giving 90-minute performances, but often when we need him to score a penalty, take a corner, or come up with a goal, he is there. And we must acknowledge that he's been a good servant for the club. But Bruno is very good at what Amorim is good at. These two Portuguese dons, they're very good at being poetic. They're very good at bringing the fan base on their side. They're very good at managing the media and, dare I say it, manipulating the fan base. They are. But that's just my take on it. That's my take on it. There's so many things you can say about this. There's so many ways you can analyze this. There's so many ways you can look at this. And I've tried to look at this in multiple different ways. I know we've spoken about this for a while now, guys. But that's just me. Sometimes I like to talk deeply and sincerely about things. So I apologize for spending a good 15 minutes on this topic. But I just wanted to flush it out a little bit, guys, and just think about things. So big everyone up. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat quickly before we move on. Shivam said, we reached 600 milestone, growing strong, big up. Yeah, man, let's go, bro. Let's 601. Next, roll to 700, roll to 1,000. At the end of the season, we can get 1,000. And once we hit that milestone, boom, shaka, laka, laka, boom, baby. What's Timmy saying? Timmy, where's that from? Tell me where it's from, guys. Where's Timmy from? £1 to the person that tells me where that's from. Apparently, it was an interview from a couple of weeks ago. I'm not too worried about Bruno. He's committed. There you go, Tim. Was it a couple weeks ago, Tim? Wow, if it was a couple weeks ago, these guys got no news. I thought it was more recent. Shibs, let's have an updated list on your outs. Xerxes, Mainoo, Dallo, Bruno, Cass, Ugarte, Maguire, Shaw is Shivam's outs. Devo66 says, F Kobbie, man, don't want another entitled teenager in our club. We need to set standards, culture over emotions of our academy. No one dared to do this during Sir Alex Ferguson. There we go. That's the Kobbie Mainoo stance by Devo. I want to ask Devo, when did you change your stance? This is the question I have to ask everybody. When did Kobbie Mainoo, in the space of just 6 months, go from the star boy of England, England's brightest spark, the best player, the best young player in the tournament, England's best player, the star, and in the 6 months, and I said this was going to happen, he's now public enemy number one. It happens too easily and it happens too quickly. And I don't like to be manipulated. So when I told you guys at the start of the season that in a few months you're going to all start hating Kobbie Mainoo because of what the media is going to do, look what happened. I don't like to feel like I'm being manipulated into hating or liking somebody. And that's what's happened to all of us right now with the Kobbie Mainoo situation. Because I already told you guys you're going to start hating him. I could see it. It's easy. The manager has to make you hate him. Otherwise, you will hate the manager. Simple. You have an option. You can either say, listen, Amrim, how dare you not play Kobbie Mainoo? He's better than Bruno, better than Cass. You lie about how he doesn't run. All these things, it's all fabrications. Because you just don't like him. Right? Or you buy into what the manager says. You buy into the manager's narratives. And slowly you will start hating Kobbie Mainoo. But me personally, I don't know if I'm going to go down I hate Kobbie Mainoo, F Kobbie Mainoo route. I don't think I'm going to do that. And I'll explain to you why. But I understand. I completely understand. You guys will have your perspectives and I will always respect Xerxes out, Kobbie Mainoo out. I kind of get it. I kind of get it, guys. And this channel is not about me and just my perspective. It's about your perspectives. But I like Kobbie Mainoo. And I don't think there's a reason for him to go anywhere. He changed the game when he came on the pitch. He did. And my thing is, why aren't people calling the manager out for lying? We played Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno together and it looked good. And Mainoo played well. So why aren't people saying, the manager said they can't play together. The manager says it's Kobbie Mainoo or Bruno and he's just proven that that's not the case. Why aren't people picking up on that and questioning the manager? You know? What's Shivam saying? I agree with all the points, but I'm frustrated enough of what team will turn up next game. Also, guys, we're going to have to start talking about what the team is going to look like without Ahmad and Mbumo and Mazraoui. We're gonna have to start figuring that shit out together because I don't know people. I really don't know because some of you really don't like the players, and I keep saying to you guys, listen, the players, the individual brilliance of the Amads and Mbumos, that's what's saving us this season. Individual FC. So we're gonna have to talk about it. Wiz, it's not 6 months. It's been last season plus current season. He's been poor except super sub goals. Shivam, I will say to you, who was good last season? Because if this is what I'll ask you, I will probe and I will question you guys. You're saying Kobbie Mainoo was poor last season. Guess what, Shivam? Everybody was poor last season. We finished 15th, Shivam. Everybody was poor. So why are you singling out the 19-year-old, the youngest man in the squad, the teenager, the baby? When we have Casemiro and Bruno and Dallo and all these guys absolutely performing shit, but still playing every game today. But I'm supposed to just attack the kid, the 18-year-old. Shivam, the way that my brain works, I can't do that. I just can't do that, Shivam. But I get it. I get it. After his Bell and brother showed up with the t-shirt. There you go. So let's talk about the t-shirt. DVO. Yes, Tim, South Park. The interview was in Portuguese, took a while to be translated. Tim, big yourself up. This is what I like. I like knowledge, and Tim just give me some knowledge. I didn't know that, Tim. Big yourself up right now, Tim. Thank you for letting me know that, because I didn't know that at all. There we go. This is my thing. Like I said, guys, this is not the normal football channel. This is a football channel for guys who love to think deeply like I do about everything. So a lot of you guys are not going to like the fact that I psychoanalyze and I think deeply about everything I talk about. You guys might be bored. I don't know. You shouldn't be. Let me not take that back. You're not bored. You never should be bored. This is amazing. Anyway, this is my thing on the Kobbie Mainoo situation, guys. Hear me out for 1 second. Let's lock into C Weezy for 1 second. Let me explore my brain. Everybody knows that Kobbie Mainoo wants to leave Manchester United. I know that. My dog knows that, and my cat knows that. Right? You know that. The fact that Kobbie Mainoo wants to leave the football club is not a secret. Everybody knows that. We have been reporting on it. Every journalist has been reporting on it for the past since the season started. He wants to leave. That is known. You know it. I know it. So my question is, if his brother is saying, free him, let him leave, why does it matter? Just ask yourself that question. Please, Devo, don't be an emotional man. I do talk about how emotionally unstable we are when we watch football and how logic and objectivity goes out the window when we watch football. We just get furious. Oh, how can you just wear that t-shirt? He's disrespecting the club. How is he wearing the t-shirt that says free Kobbie? And I'm like, and I'm sitting back thinking, hold on a second, let's strip it back for a second. Everyone wants to know, everyone sees that Kobbie Mainoo has been treated unfairly. He's better than, in my opinion, he's better in that position than Bruno. In my opinion, he's better than Casemiro and Ugarte. He should be playing more games. And if he's not better than them, why isn't he not playing where Mason Mount plays? Why isn't the manager once in a while playing him in that position rather than Mason Mount? Because we can see that he can pass the ball. He can do everything that Mason Mount can do. Everything. And we've seen what Kobbie Mainoo can do. He's a very, very good footballer. Technically better than Baleba. And we're going to go and buy Baleba. Right? And then we're going to talk about his work rate and his pace and his all these things like Casemiro and Bruno are quick. Like Casemiro and Bruno are like they're not tenacious. They're not more tenacious than Kobbie. They're not quicker than Kobbie. They're not really. So my thing is, if you and I know that Kobbie Mainoo wants to leave and his brother is just saying, let him leave, what is the problem? And I sit back and I'm thinking, I can't find the problem. I can't find the issue. Kobbie Mainoo is not playing football in the most important years of his career. He's begging to play, begging to play. We're losing games. We're not playing well. The manager's not playing him. He wants to go desperately. Everybody knows he wants to leave. His brother now comes out and says, free Kobbie Mainoo. And I'm supposed to get angry. I'm supposed to get emotional. I'm sitting there thinking, why? A man wants to leave and his brother wants him to leave. So where should I get angry? Where should I get angry? I've said this before, guys. The way I see stuff, I'm not angry. When I'm watching football with you guys, the watch alongs, you see how emotional I get. When I stop and think for a second, I can compartmentalize things. In my mind, guys, if that was my brother getting treated like that by the manager and not playing any games, I would be doing the exact same thing as him. You think I'm not going to be like, free my brother? You crazy, my brother? Of course I would. Of course I would. I don't get the anger. That's where I'm at personally, guys. This is where I'm at. Do you think media ask so much about Mainoo only because he competes against Bruno and Cass, both non-English? I guess the questions will stop if it's between Mount and Mainoo. Shivam, I like the way you thought. That's what I call critical thinking there. I don't know if that's true, Shivam, but we can test. I mean, the hypothesis could be tested. We'll see, but that could be a thing. It could be. Who knows? A 5% of the Mainoo thing could be because he's English. He was the star boy of the last tournament, and you've gone from the star boy of the last tournament to now you can't even play a game for Manchester United. So it's right for the English media to be asking what the hell's going on. I think that's fair. But Shivam's saying, is it because the two guys he's up against aren't English? Shivam, you're asking the right questions in my opinion. You're asking the right questions. Devo, what's Devo? Devo's come back and says, okay, logically, Kobbie could have set a one-on-one with the manager, talked about his situation. How do you know he hasn't done that, Devo? And discussed a solution. How do you know that he's not been trying to do that? That's the problem. We're talking like these things wouldn't happen. Listen, I was in the football system, and there's no way. Yeah, this also depends on what Amrim's like. Amrim could be a manager where he's like, don't talk to me about anything. We don't know what kind of manager he is. He routinely throws players under the bus anyway. So I don't know. I think the relationship between Kobbie Mainoo, Devo, and Amrim, from the outside, I don't know for sure, bro. I ain't gonna say but I think it's broken down a little bit. But I hear what you're saying though, Devo. You said, like a professional, you want to go away from a reality TV drama of a club. I hear you. That is true. I understand what you're saying, Devo. I hear you. But I don't know. I feel like with Kobbie Mainoo at this point, it might be personal with the manager because some of the decisions he's made when he's not brought him on, when we needed to score a goal and he's brought on Ugarte. He brought on Ugarte instead of Kobbie Mainoo when he wanted to score a goal or needed to win a game. I believe some of it's a bit strange. But I hear what you're saying. This is not Kobbie Mainoo doing this. This is Kobbie Mainoo's brother. And all Kobbie Mainoo's brother's done is wear a t-shirt and taking a picture. That's all he's done. I believe the outrage from this doesn't match the action. We all know he wants to leave. Kobbie wants to leave. We've heard him say this. He's come out. His agent said this. The press have said this for the last 2 months. He wants to leave. And his brother is saying, let him leave. Let him play football. And I agree. I actually agree, people. I think if we're not going to play Kobbie Mainoo, let's not ruin him. Let's not ruin him, because at this age, this is the age where you're supposed to play football and start growing and start developing. Kobbie Mainoo has missed out on so much football, so much development. Yeah, it's a crime. Just let him play. Go and let him play somewhere else. That's what I say. But Divas is making some points. At the same time, we do need to move away from all of this circus. All of this circus. So no, I take Divas's point. I keep saying Divos because the six is not an S. Devo. Alfred Gideon, big up Alfred Gids in the building. Have I ever criticized Kobbie Mainoo on the pitch? Mm, Devo says it's not emotions, it's professionalism. Professionalism. Yeah, but thing about this professionalism thing is, what is professionalism? Professionalism is whatever they decided it to be, right? I'm a black man from Jamaica, from the Caribbean. Professionalism is colonialism. Professionalism is me dropping my heritage, dropping my and Jamaican accent, and speaking like a posh Englishman wearing a suit and tie and behaving exactly how they want me to behave, saying what they want me to say, tiptoeing around the lines and not defending myself. That's all colonial bullshit. I don't like that kind of stuff. If you have something to say and you have your truth, speak your damn truth, bro. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion, because one thing I understand is that football clubs, guys, they will chew you up and spit you out. So you have to back yourself and defend yourself. I don't like Garnacho, but I like the fact Garnacho backed himself. I like every footballer that says F you to the club, I back myself. Even if I don't like Garnacho, but I like when he backed himself. Because I'm an anti-capitalist. So when it comes to the big football club against a small player, I'm always going to side with the small player. When it comes to a big conglomerate, big corporation against an employee, I'm probably going to side with the employee against the massive company. I'm always going to side with the smaller guy, the guy with less protection, over the big bully. I'm always going to do that because I feel like that's what Jesus would do. And that's what I feel like we should do. But when it comes to football, because we love the football club, we take the side of the evil big giant, which is often the actual football club we support. It's so complex because we support the club, but by supporting the club, we're actually supporting Glazers and the Ineos because they own the club. So, like, it's so complex, guys. It's so complex, but essentially, I would prefer often to support the little guy in these situations. That's kind of how I sometimes see it. All right, but big up, guys. You're getting into how I think. What's Devo saying? This is mocking the fan base. Hmm. Devo, the only thing I would say about the mocking the fan base thing is that this T-shirt was actually created by the fan base. The free Kobbie Mainoo T-shirts is a Man United fan base thing, and when Kobbie came on the pitch, every single person in the stadium cheered. I feel like, yeah, the T-shirt is from the fan base, Devo. Um, I don't know if it's he. How I don't understand how you've got a man's brother saying free Kobbie Mainoo, let him play football. How do you link that to he is a mockery of our club as an institution? How did you? Where's the link between that? That's a massive statement. It's like, please let my brother play. Oh, that man who's asking for his brother to play football is disrespecting the club as an institution. I'm like, no, he's just saying let his brother play. He's not. What? How do we get here? That's why I say, guys, it's not objective. It's emotional. It's that's what I say. That's why I say it's. I'm not saying you are being emotional, but I'm saying it's not a deep thought position. It's not a position you've arrived at by thinking very, very deeply about it. In my humble opinion, yeah, I don't mind. I don't care yet if a footballer isn't playing and he should be playing, and a family member says, "Let my son," like a mother goes to a football match and says, "Please let my son play." What's wrong with that? I don't understand what's wrong with that. We can just ignore it. We can just take a picture of it. That mum wants his son to play football and start for Man United. That's nice, and just move on. We don't need to feel anything. There doesn't need to be an emotion. It doesn't need to be anger. We can just see, Kobbie Mainoo's brother wants Kobbie Mainoo to play football. That's very nice of his brother. His brother's trying to push Kobbie Mainoo to play football. Cool. But why the anger? Why do I need to get? That's what I'm trying to say. Why the emotion? That's my issue. Um. Anyway, I think I've said enough about that personally. It could be a family member. It could be anybody, really. Um. Like I said, I don't like Garnacho, but I like the fact that Garnacho stood up for himself, because I know, as a footballer who was also in the system, if you do not stand up for yourself, if you're Sancho, whoever you are, and speak your truth, you're going to be chewed up and spat out by the football club. You have to protect yourself as a footballer, because no one else will do it for you. We have to be able to, as fans, think like fans. And as fans, we think only about protecting the club. We worship the club like a religion. We do. And anyone says anything bad about the club, except Bruno, we will get at them with pickaxes. Oh, how dare you? I'm Man United. How dare you criticize the club? And stab, stab, stab. But sometimes I just take my fan hat off and think about the players, put myself in the shoes of the actual players. And sometimes when you do that, that's called being empathetic. It's called critical thinking. When you put yourself in the shoes of someone else, yeah, you can be like, hold on a second. If I was Kobbie Mainoo right now, if I was Kobbie Mainoo's brother right now, I might be doing the same thing. And that's what we need to do, I think, more often. Anyway, guys, I've spoken a lot. Let's move on. Washivam saying, I wonder why media never asked Amrim. Everyone can see that this team doesn't work with Bruno and Cass in mid. Why can't the manager see it and put Bruno at 10, Mainoo in the mid, and Cunha at 9? Simple. Shivam, yeah. One thing I noticed, Shivs, is that people like you, people like everybody in this chat, actually, we will all ask better questions in the interviews than the media people. Don't forget, Shivam, we are actually football fans. We are actually Man United fans. So we're going to ask proper deep questions if we were in the interview room, Shivs. These media companies want the headlines. They've already got the headlines. So sometimes they don't even ask a question. They say things like, Casemiro's not good enough, is he? They've already got the headline that Casemiro's not good enough. They just want you to just finish the headline. These media people, a lot of them are not even football fans. They are journalists, i.e. they go to university, get their degree in journalism, i.e. they can write some shit and lie about some shit. Some of them don't even like football. Some of them just work for the BBC, work for whatever, and they're just hired to do football. But they don't even understand it. So you have the media, who are the gatekeepers of everything, who set the narratives, who tell you which player to like, which player not to like, and they often don't even understand football. You understand football more than a lot of those guys do, Shifts. That's just the truth, bro. That's the truth. Alfred, Wiz, would you rather adjust tactics according to that one player who is dreadful, or bench that special player but there's no creativity? That is some hypothetical, interesting. Alfred, would you rather adjust tactics according to that one player who is dreadful, or bench that special player but there's no creativity? The one player that's dreadful, and I'm trying to understand the question. Um, if that one player doesn't fit the team, I think that's what you're saying. Then I'm not gonna change up my whole team just to fit that one player. It depends though. I feel like there's degrees. If I've got a Neymar in my team, then all you guys got to flip and fix up and pass the ball to Neymar. So I will adjust to Neymar. Um, I think that's what you meant. I'm not quite sure what you meant there, Shivs. I mean, Alfred though. So I don't think I answered the question properly. Then do you support Sancho as well? I guess he is the worst signing ever in the history of the club. Um, I don't. What do you mean support Sancho? Sancho's not a Man United player anymore. And I don't think he's a worst signing ever in what sense? Because he did do more for us than Anthony did, and he cost less than Anthony. So is your worst signing Anthony? I feel like the worst signing is an emotional statement. I don't think it's objective. I remember at Sancho playing under what's the interim guy called? The interim guy for 6 months. The German Ralph. I remember Sancho playing under Ralph Ragnick, and he was our best player under Ralph. I remember Sancho setting up CR7 many times. I feel like the 2 years that we saw Sancho play, and then we bought Anthony, and then we kicked Sancho to the curb for Anthony because of Ten Hag. And then we sent him out on loan, right? Back to Dortmund. He was exceptional in that Champions League, reached Champions League final. Then the next season, it went on loan to Chelsea. It did decently well. Chelsea ended in the Champions League positions. And then this season, he's gone to Aston Villa, and Aston Villa in the top 4. So it's like, is he the worst signing ever? No, I don't think he can be the worst signing ever. But has he been a success at Manchester United? No. Therefore, has he really been a bad signing? You'd have to say yeah. You'd have to say yes on the basis of what we wanted him to do, what we wanted him to achieve. He has been a bad signing. But things are nuanced. I still agree with a player standing up for themselves, bro. I don't believe in this post-colonial attitude that people should punch you in your face and you shouldn't block. That's what people want. In this post-colonial world, you shouldn't defend yourself. You shouldn't come out and back yourself over the club. You shouldn't come out, and if the manager is saying that you're lazy, which is what the manager was saying, right? He's lazy. You should sit there and just work hard and not try to combat the narrative. No. If someone's lying about you and calling you lazy and all these things, you come out and you say you're chatting fucking shit, bro. Like, I'm a Jamaican, bro. We're fighters. My mentality is to always fight your position. Is never to flip and take. When the next man is trying to set a narrative, trying to say you're crap, whatever. I agreed with Sancho coming out and tweeting, "This man is chatting shit. I'm not crap in training." I agree with that. I'm always going to agree with the little guy defending himself against the big guy. I'm always going to side with the small guy over the big bully. I hate bullies. And if the bully is my football club, I don't care. I'm going to side. This is my nature, bro. I'm always going to defend the smaller thing, the smaller entity over the bigger, huge, large entity. Not always, actually, but usually I will do that. So that's a long answer for you, Shivam. But yeah, Sancho has been a failure at Man United, but not. He has had good games. He wasn't always crap. And there've been worse players and worse signings than Sancho. You can argue Anthony might be. Argue. Is Jadon Sancho getting a statue outside his house? If you can make the statue, and if you make it bronze, you can put it there. Listen, I don't want to talk about Sancho. You guys brought up Sancho. I've forgotten about Sancho. He doesn't play for my club no more. He's gone. I don't But I'll answer the question. Bro. I think Bruno disrespected the club more with his interview than Mainoo's brother. Bruno used the leverage he has in the team. He threw us under the bus, and guess what? No one is speaking about it. Shivam, that is what I wanted someone to say in this chat, bro. I haven't said it. I wanted to say it, but I've kind of said enough for you guys to come to the conclusion that what Bruno has done in his interview, what he has said in his interview, is 100 times worse than what Kobbie's brother's done, in my opinion. And I think Shivam hit the nail on his head. But do you know what? I actually think Bruno and Kobbie can play together. Not every game, not every game. But if we are playing three at the back, yeah, three defenders at the back, why can't we play Kobbie, Mainoo, and Bruno together in a double pivot? We've got three defenders at the back. I think we can. I think we can. There doesn't need to be Bruno versus Kobbie and all these things versus this. We can be more unified than this, guys. We can. We can. Has the United virus caught up with Mbumo? Man's moving like Prime without Weghorst. Prime without Weghorst. Oh, maybe all the load. Alfred, I've been saying for the past 4 games, and you know that I've been saying for the past 4 games that Brian Mbumo, his performances, he's been scoring goals. Not last game, but you know he has been scoring goals here or there. But his actual performances has declined, guys. His like Mbumo's performances over the last 5 games have not been good, and I do honestly think he should have scored 2 goals on Monday. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh, but I think he should have. But I don't know, man. Individual brilliance, it runs out. It runs out once in a while. You can't ask Brian Mbumo to keep, coming up with the goods all the time. But yeah, we just need to be careful when we talk about guys like Mbumo and Cunhas and these guys, because I don't think we should go too hard on them because they've literally just come to the club. And I'm always saying, if you just come to the club, even Ugarte, I said, let me just give Ugarte a bit of grace for the 6 months. Let me give, Dorgu. Let me give all these guys. When you just come to the club, you have to bed in. You have to, give people a bit of time. However, Shivam, Alfred, you guys, I have seen and I have noticed a decline in Mbumo's general performance over the last 4 or 5 games. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, me. Why do you guys think that is? Hmm? Um, do a poll without how happy you are. Third of the way into the season with where things stand with our clubs on a whole. That's a good poll, TK. Because TK, to be honest, what TK said in the last show, he was like, and this is why TK is important. He was asking, listen, we can get angry in a moment, but the question TK was posing is, if someone said to you that we would be 6th, yeah, a third of the way into the season, would you have taken that? Because we can moan all we want about things, but objectively and practically, yes, performances are not good and all these things. And also, all right, here's a stat, guys. Here's a stat I have for you. I think we are about 5 points or something behind Man City. Something along them lines, right? Or 4 points. Something along them lines, am I correct? If we didn't fluff up against Tottenham, if we didn't fluff up against Bournemouth just now, and that's one other team that we messed up against, like Nottingham Forest, we would be about 2 points behind Arsenal in 2nd place right now. So it's difficult to say that, yes, did you predict us to be in 6th? Because some of you guys will say, I didn't predict us to be in 6th based on the fact that we finished 15th. So some of you guys will be using what we did last year as, if we finished 15th last year, then we should finish 10th this year. But I'm not using last year because I know we should never have finished 15th. I don't think we were a 15th place team last year. So I'm not even using last year as a stick to measure how good we are this year, or as a stick to evaluate how happy I am with 6, because I think the context has to be taken into account. Yes, remove context, completely remove it. We're the sixth and we're doing well. But if you add in context, add in the fact that no other team is being consistent, add in the fact that we should have won certain games, you can argue we could even easily be in the top four right now, top two. All I'm saying, guys, is that the top four in this league that we are seeing this year, with how inconsistent teams are, the top four is for grabs, guys. We are playing once a week. Remember that. Remember all the advantages that the manager said that we were going to have, like for playing once a week, how fresh we're going to be. It is there for us to finish in the top four. And as I said before, if the manager gets us, then listen, even if it's by the whisker, if he gets us in the top six, we have to give him some credit. We have to give him some credit. And I will try to TK will hold me to account. I'm pretty sure he will, like he did last time when me and him had an argument. Um, TK says it's almost impossible to pick a worst ever signing, as here are different areas and managers, systems, etc. Maybe financially Sancho was, but for performance wise, it's hard to pick. There you go, TK. TK said it, because in terms of performances, we've had we've had Jemba, we've had Obertan, we've had Cleberson, we've had people who are not near Sancho in terms of performance. Sanchez, I mean, Sanchez was okay, but you can argue Sanchez was a flop. So in terms of performances, Sancho has given us some decent performances. You guys have just forgotten because he hasn't played football for this club for 3 years. You've forgotten that in the first 2 years, he was okay. Did he lift up trees? No, but he wasn't terrible. He was better than Garnacho was. He's better than his replacement Garnacho. But it is what it is. We don't need to talk about Sancho anymore. He's not here. He's gone. And for the money we spent on him and what we got from him, no, nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. That's a fact. But there's so many criterias. We're signing in terms of how much you spent on him and the output. We're signing in terms of performance. What metrics are you using to decide who the worst signing is? Shivam said there's a simple solution for all these issues. Follow my list of outs and get the team in future on track. Hey, you know what I like about Shivam, yeah? I don't actually agree, yeah, with a lot of Shivam's points, but I agree with Shivam's right to have those opinions. Like, Shivam doesn't like Xerxes. Shivam wants Mainoo out. I like Xerxes and I like Mainoo. We don't agree, but it's fine. It's fine. We just have different opinions, and that's good. Eventually, me and Shivam, we do agree on something. We do agree on some things, Shivs. We do. Alfred said, people saying Bruno deserved better. I think we deserve better. He soaks his toes in butter whenever he passes short. Oh, Alfred. Oh, man. Lenny as well. Something's going on in the dressing room with Lenny. What's happening? Listen, I'm not going to look too deep into Lenny, guys. Do you know why? Because he's 19, yeah, and I know whether you're Phil Foden, Mason Greenwood, Wayne Rooney, or CR7, every kid has a period of 6 months, a year, whatever it might be, where they're not doing that well. They have that little patch. And Lenny is due his little patch. When you're a kid, you're supposed to have your bad periods, yeah? And the manager, Fergie, is supposed to take you out and sub you and put a more mature person in while you go through your bad periods. Beckham, all the class 92 went through periods where they were shit and not playing well. So I don't think Lenny's not even playing. I don't think Lenny's playing badly. I don't understand why the manager takes Lenny Euro off around the 70-minute mark all the time. He looks fine. He looks okay. I don't understand why the manager makes so many. You need to understand this, guys. We concede so many goals in the second half of games, right? and our manager makes so many defensive changes in the second half of games. I've never seen a manager in the history of football who loves making defensive changes so much. He literally can take off three of his defenders every single game in the second half, completely disrupts the way that we defend. The manager does this all the time, guys. So I don't know, Lenny. I've seen too much of Lenny Euro, guys, to ever I can't question how good Lenny Euro is or will become. I've seen him, this 18-year-old, 19-year-old, do the most already in his first season. So as long as he continues to improve, he'll go through his bad patch. I've got no issues with Lenny. I think Lenny will be fine, Alfred. Shivam says, I can't take anything except being first when it's United. Below average players have made our expectations below average. Guess that's how the world works. To be best, you need to have the best around. Also, Fulham away and West Ham at home. Yeah, Alfred. Yeah. Good point, Turkish as well, TK. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. An old time. Sorry for time, guys, but I feel like today's show was a good show. I feel like we need to hash some things out. I've given my deep opinions. I've listened to you guys, and some of what you guys have said which will happen, right? Will shift my thoughts. Will shift my opinions. Um. So yeah, let's quickly see what Ahmad's saying. Quickly, just a couple of seconds. Ahmad's spoken about the formation, and he's basically said it depends on the opponent. Sometimes we play in 4-4-2, sometimes 3-4-3, and sometimes 4-3-3. Maybe people outside doesn't see it. We can change based on what Ruben Amorim asks of us. The system doesn't matter to us. It's not the best worded quote in the world or interview. I understand what he says, but you know, like during a match, yeah, when a player just runs after the ball, and because he runs into a different position, it means the system's changed. No, like football is fluid, yeah, and if there's space on the left for you to attack, then attack the space. Ahmad is making it out that in every game we played, we're constantly changing formation, and I don't like to look at football like that, because you don't actually, like, you don't consciously change formation at the 20th minute mark. You don't go, cool, 20 minutes, let's go to a 4-4-2. That's not actually what happens in football. What happens is that you have a system and you also have a formation that you fall back onto or fall back into during the course of the game. It'll be very difficult for the players who take it upon themselves periodically, randomly, and go, cool, guys, 3-4-3. Oh, cool. 70th minute, 4-4-2. We don't see that. It doesn't happen. However, because football is fluid and people don't stand in positions, we can sometimes see these players in different. Like, for instance, Ahmad is a wing back. Because he's a wing back and he plays all the length of the wing, at any moment you can take a picture and he'll be either there in defense, making it back five. Take a snapshot, he could either be up there, making it a front four. So in a sense, during the game, you are constantly changing formation, because the wing back is either going to be back there, make it five, up there, make it four, or up there to make it a three, right? And because of that, wing backs moving like this, technically the formation is changing. Formation change, right? I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Big up, Osman. I'm late to the convo, but worst, most disappointing United signings I would propose is Veron. Osman came with the Veron. Anthony is actually a contender too, but it's aggravated by the fee, which was unfair on him. Osman. Yeah, Veron. I'm trying to think about Veron. Once again, yeah, I don't think it was Veron's fault. But you could argue for what we expected Veron to be, for what we expected him to do, and it's all based on expectations, by the way. And you could argue, should it be based on expectations? Because some people have false expectations. And if a player doesn't match your false expectations, you say he's rubbish. But maybe your expectation was wrong in the first place. But based on the expectation of Veron, yeah, I might. That's a good shout, Oz. That's a good shout. I feel like when Veron came, Oz, we properly tried though. We played with a double. We played in two-man midfield for most of Fergie's tenure, and I remember when Veron came, we played 4-3-3. I think we tried to play Veron at the head of the midfield with Keane and Scholes. Was it Keane and Scholes at the base and Veron? I think we tried to do something, or did we do Keane as the base and then Scholes and Veron as the eights? I think we tried the 4-3-3 with Veron, and it still didn't work. Mm. TK says, after coming off the bench and playing how he did, Mainoo, for me, earned the start against Villa. Casemiro's suspension plays into Kobbie perhaps stepping up perfectly. I hear you, TK. I hear you. My thing is, I know we all, but this is my thing, TK. You know how good Kobbie is. So when you saw him come off the bench and play how he did, you know that you've seen him play much better than that. You've seen him play football for the last 2 years, mate. Not last year, but the year before, definitely, he was balling out. My thing is, people have forgotten how good Kobbie is to the point where he came on, did what he did on Monday, and people obviously are getting excited. And I'm thinking, that's just a quarter of what Kobbie can do. We've actually seen Kobbie play disgustingly well. We've seen Kobbie do some madness. Sauce. And I feel like with time, the less you see him play, the more you absorb the manager's narrative, is the more you're going to start thinking he's not good. And then he's going to do something like he did on Monday. And you're going to, oh, wow, yeah, Kobbie. I forgot Kobbie. No, I don't forget. And that's why I'm so annoyed. Because I know this kid is the best. Him and Ahmad, sauce. But I agree with Tico. Let's see what happens anyway. Because we're going to talk about Ahmad and Mbeumo and, certain players leaving. Let's see what we do, guys. Let's see what we do. It will be a cultural change when Bruno, Cass, Maguire, Dalot and Shaw will be out, says Shivam. I really need these 5 players to leave. We had enough of them and they can't get better or make us better, says Shivam. The Bruno one's going to be interesting because I have a love-hate relationship with Bruno. I love Bruno, but I hate Bruno. You know what I mean? I think we all have that love-hate relationship with Bruno. And I feel like when Bruno leaves, it's going to be a bit sad because so much of everything has been about him. But at the same time, it's going to be refreshing. A breath of fresh air. Anyway, before we wrap up, just to finish off, guys, as I said before the start of the show, United are going to raise an appeal with FIFA as it has been revealed that Morocco refused to allow Mazraoui to play for his club against Bournemouth, hours after the deadline for his release for the Africa Cup of Nations. So that's that news there. United are going to raise an appeal. I don't understand why they need to raise an appeal. Like, we played the game, we drew the game. Why are you trying to beef with Morocco? Why are you trying to beef with the Moroccan FA? Like, just let it go. Like, let's have good relationships with people. Like, whether he went, was he going to start the game anyway? And did we really miss him? I don't really get this. I feel like we should just move on and just, yeah, he's gone now. All players for the African Cup of Nations have all gone now. So whether they went on Sunday or on Monday, they've gone. So I hear it, but I don't know. And also, last bit of news that I see that Fabrizio Romano has tweeted just now, guys, is once again, we're talking about Baleba and we're talking about his missed transfer and whether it's affected him. And the tweet is simply says this. No. No, I don't think it's affected me. But I had a lot of pressure on me. I wanted to have the same performances as last season. Every day I try to work hard and to get back to my level. And I know a lot of you guys have cooled off on Baleba a little bit because of his general performance. And listen, we have to try to decide whether it's a bad patch or whether it's something long term. That's the issue. What you're seeing from Baleba now permanent? As in, as he just kind of lost his mojo now, or is this just a bad patch because his head's turned? That's what you guys have to decide. Because I know some of you guys have cooled down on Baleba. I haven't. When I look at Baleba, when I look at Kobbie Mainoo, I feel like the only difference between a Baleba and a Kobbie Mainoo is that Kobbie's better in tight spaces. Kobbie's a better dribbler than Baleba, and Kobbie's a better finisher than Baleba. He's better attacking than Baleba in every sense of the word. The only thing I think Baleba has over Kobbie is he's slightly more tenacious. He's more tenacious than Kobbie. Kobbie still he doesn't have that tenacity, yeah, that Baleba has, and that's to me is the main difference between the two. I feel like Kobbie's younger, and if we developed Kobbie like we should have, I think Kobbie would be in a different position right now. Hey, let me see what TK. Let me see what Shivam's ins are. Gahey. I don't mind Gahey. I'm okay. Anderson, midfield. Stiller. Okay. Robinson, DeMarco, Baleba, and all right. Shivam, I don't mind your list, you know. I actually think your list is actually decent, Shivam. I don't hate your list, Shivam, at all. At all, my guy. I'm interested in the Robinson DeMarco thing. But yeah, Baleba, big up RD United TV. Someone new, a new face in the chat. Make sure you make RD United TV feel welcome in the chat, people. What are you saying, RD United TV? Baleba will get criticism, but he's not been really awful. He was just very good last season. There you go. There you go. Some perspective on everything. RD United TV is basically saying, listen, he's in the limelight now because Man United want him. So they're going to be staring at him. They're going to get their binoculars and analyze every touch, analyze every wrong kick, analyze everything. But RD United TV is basically saying, listen, he's not actually been that bad this season. Not really. It's just over the top criticism. And we also need to understand that. So big up your RD United TV, giving us a bit of perspective on the matter, which we all need. It's not about being blind to things. Red Devil. Oh, I just realized it's a Red Devil United. Red Devil United. Oh, big up Red Devil United. I just realized it's RD United TV. Big up RD United TV, man. Big up thank you for jumping in the channel, bro. Big up for jumping in, man. Yeah, I'll make sure I subscribe to RD United TV as well, my guy. I'll make sure I subscribe. So big up RD United TV, a legit channel up in the building. At the moment. What are you guys saying in the chat? Do you think other teams potentially? Yeah, RD United TV definitely. There's no way. Like, obviously, the talk is that we sowed the seeds, right? We sowed the seeds in the summer. The thing is, RD United TV, we're supposed to believe that he, just like Brandon Bumo, only wants Man United. We are supposed to believe that under Ineos, we're only going to go for players that want to play for us. So the fact that we are so heavily just banging on his door just makes me believe that, yes, he still wants to come for us. He's from Cameroon, same places in Bumo. They listen, these guys they love Man United. Listen, we're crap, but we still have a big fan base. He wants to come here. And because of that, RD United TV, I believe that he won't be too interested in a Liverpool or a Man City. I don't think he'll be too interested. Just like Brandon Bumo only wanted us, Cunha only wanted us. I feel like we will keep going for players that say they only wanted us. So we don't have to do this bidding war. If Man United are in a bidding war, we ain't winning that shit. We ain't winning that shit. So we need to tap up these players first. Make sure you only want to come here, and then we'll make it verbal. I think we made it verbal about Baleba because we were told by Baleba's agent, and I think we all know this, that he definitely wants to come. That's why we're making it so known. We want to unsettle him. We want to. Let's just cut the crap. Man United want to unsettle Baleba. They do. Big up anyway. Swap Mainoo and Baleba in Jan on loan. Both will get what they want. I've heard that before, Shiv. I hear that. It could make sense. It could make sense. But I don't know if Brighton would want to give up Baleba and take Mainoo. I don't know. Guys. Will Brighton be happy to buy Mainoo? Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Because they're going to get a midfield that's really good. An attacking midfield at Mainoo. But they're going to lose their combative box-to-box. Because I think it's a box-to-box. And at the end of the day, we don't need a DM. The way we play, with our three at the back, Casemiro's not really a DM. And no, neither is Bruno. I think the way that we play and the way the manager wants to play, we need two box-to-box midfielders. We need a Baleba, and if Kobbie can do it, a Kobbie. A Baleba or an Anderson, just doing this and running everywhere. I don't think we need one that's really attacking and one that's really defending. I feel like we need two midfielders that can do both. That's what I think. That's what I think. I don't know what you guys think. What do you guys think? We're gonna start. Whoa, 9 o'clock, people. Flipping neck. What a show. Whoa, we said 1 hour and we've been here since what, 7:15. Flipping neck. It's your fault, Shivam. It's Shivam's fault. It's nobody's fault, guys. If the show overruns, then it overruns, man. I don't mind, guys. Let's talk ball, man. Wiz, considering your size, you might be a better option than Ugarte. At least we get bench with a. What's funny, Shivam? I've literally just started kicking ball again. Yeah. I haven't played football since my semi-pro days, when I was playing semi-pro for Tooting and Mitcham FC. Yeah. And when I was playing semi-pro, I was playing as a striker. Then I moved into midfield. And that was what, 21, 22. I'm in my late 30s now. And so I started playing football again. My God, bro. My God. Football. Listen. I feel like every time I play football, I'm breaking something. And my ankle's effed up. My back's messed up. Like, I can't run. You know when you were younger, yeah, and you used to do all of these little skills, man, even doing the basic stuff, I can't do it. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, but I play for a team called, what do I play for? UCL Academics, yeah. You can go Google it. I play for the UCL Academics. That's a team that I play for. And we train at Arsenal and Watford's training ground. So we play our home games at Watford training ground. That's where we play our home games. And yeah, just getting back into, even on Saturday, we had a game on Saturday. And we only had 9 men, and I had to play centre mid, and I had played centre mid in like 15 years, bro. My gosh, man was out of breath after 5 minutes. It was crazy, but it's good, man. I'm getting back into it. I'm enjoying it. Look at me. I don't know if you can see. That's me. Look how big I am. Look at me. I don't want. Listen, I'm playing up front here, but I've got number 5 on the back, and this is my first game back. Yeah, man. Look how tall and big I am on the pitch. Massive. So yeah, I'm just getting back into football, people, man. And also, the reason why I'm getting back into playing football, I'm working on my touch. I've got the cones on my backyard, and like about 3-4 times a week, I'll go in my backyard, just go around the cones. Go around the cones using in my instep. Then I go around the cones using the outside of my feet. Then I go around the cones using both my instep and outside of my feet. Then I do my drag backs. Then I do my inside rolls. I do all these little things just to keep my mind sharp, my feet sharp. I do my little step overs. I do my little tricky moves. I practice my shooting. I'm trying to get back into it, bro, because I used to be a baller back in the day. Now I am shit. Shit. But it happens, man. If anything, it's just good to do it for fitness, bro. If you guys, can go and join a little Sunday league, a Saturday league, as long as you don't break your ankles, and you have to go work on Monday. So no point breaking ankles on Sunday and then being on crutches on Monday. But I remember the first game back. Actually, the first game with this UCL academics team, the goalkeeper broke his fingers. And when I saw the goalkeeper break his fingers, I was like, yeah, this is supposed to be for fun. This is supposed to be Sunday league. This is supposed to be me trying to get fit. I am not going to be slide tackling nobody. I'm not going to be jumping in no tackles. I'm not breaking no bones playing no fucking Sunday league. Never. I touch wood. But yeah. If I was you guys love football. No matter how old you are, there's going to be veteran leagues. There's Sunday leagues for over 40s, over 50s, bro. If I was you guys, go play some football. Play some Sunday league, guys. I'm telling you, it's fun, man. Play some Sunday league, man. And we could talk about our Sunday league games. So, wow, I went off a tandem, boy. I went off in a tandem fully, bro. Um, Let me see what you guys are saying though. RD United. Will Brighton be happy? I've read that. Wiz considering your size. Yep. Rich, it's a loan. Cool. We can sell Mainoo before selling my top 5. Good point. I don't see many bidding wars these days. Clubs go to the player first and the player generally picks the club. That's true. Yeah. I feel like clubs can't be asked for bidding wars now. It's like, do you want to come to the club? Cool. Then shut the fuck up and sign. That's it now. We ain't got time for no bidding war. When Newcastle came in for Sesko, Mainoo was sitting there. They were chilled because we already knew Sesko weren't going to go to Newcastle. So, good shout for the box-to-box players. I always prefer versatile players over specialists, says RD United. Also, RD United, don't forget that Ruben Amorim is that guy. I always got to remind people that the type of footballer our manager was in his football days will dictate how he sees football. Right? Ruben Amorim was a utility box-to-box footballer. He was somebody who could play in many positions. And because of that, he sees football a certain way. He believes that everyone else needs to be able to play in multiple positions because he did. So we also need to understand what kind of midfielder Ruben Amorim was in his day to sometimes understand how he interprets football. I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. Late 30s, did you not just turn 40? Or was it cap? TK, allow me, man. I'm almost 40. I'm in my late 30s, approaching my 40s, bro. Allow me, but don't be adding years onto my life, man. I'm still young. They say black don't crack. I don't know. I'm cracking, though. I'm crackling. Like pork. Pork crackling. I'm joking. My ends again. All box to box. Gahey, Anderson, Bleber, Stiller, Udis. Robson, DeMarco. Nice list, says, who do you play for before? Wiz, get your cardio up. You would smash a child like Carrington. This guy. My cardio is crap, bro. Like, I find, running on the treadmill the boringest activity in life. And when people say, just run in the neighborhood. Running is boring, bro. Like, I can run playing football. I can run if I've got something to run for. If I'm running for the ball, but just on a treadmill, just running on a treadmill, just with the music in your ear, just running. I don't know, bro. I can't. That is so dead. That's dead. But my cardio is shocking. I need to get my cardio up. Oz, you should come and play, bro. That reminds me. But Oz is far. Oz is far away. Oz ain't gonna come. Oz ain't gonna come North London to play football. TK's a goal. Okay, that's crazy, Wiz. Definitely better than Ugarte and even you scanning the pitch. You already, bro. As you see, you see, bro. Ain't gonna lie, when you play football, yeah, when you're watching football from the viewpoint that we watch it from, you can see every angle on the pitch because you're seeing it from the bird's eye view. You can see the spaces, right? But we know we've all played football. As soon as you play football and everything's just on the level, you gotta be just like this. Before the ball even gets to you, you gotta be like left, right. Where my teammates? Where my teammates? Cool, they're there. Boom, bam. It's your brain has to be working. When you play football, your brain is constantly working, bro. I'm lucky the guys I play for. I play with the cartel. All right, I don't play with the cartel. Basically, I play for a football club. Yeah, that's like funny enough, guys. The team that I play for is 100% Portuguese. That's Portuguese speaking, I should say, because they're Brazilians. So I play here with a bunch of Brazilians, and there's one random English don. There's like the whole like 90% of the team is Brazilians, and there's one random English don playing right back, and then there's me, one big black guy, one Jamaican guy. It's weird, and all I'm hearing is bare Ruben Amorim talk, bare Portuguese, and like all the time. So I'm surrounded in my Saturday league team. I'm surrounded by Portuguese speaking dons, and but they play all right. They carry me. Oh man! All right, guys. Where are we? 9 o'clock. I literally sprained my ankle on the way to the stadium on Saturday and had to go home. Oh no! Damn Oz! Flipping heck, bro. That's crazy. That's mad, man. That's what I'm. That's probably why I want to get back into football now, so I can condition my body and go through that rigorous stuff. Because even now, after a game of football, my body's dead for like 2 days. My ankles are messed up, my knees messed up. I'm wearing knee pads, not knee pads, knee braces, and all these things. You gotta look after yourself, man. Birthday robe. Yeah, man, that's mad, Oz. Look after yourself, my guy. Um, Newcastle offered more for Sesko as well. Yeah, and he said no. One thing I don't like here is how people are talking about this. Is it Voldemort? Voldemort. 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 Vo, Vo, Voldemort. What's this guy? That striker. Watermator. Watermator. I haven't even smoked any weed, you know. I'm not even high. But way that people are talking about this guy like he's better than Sesko. He's not better than Sesko, people. He's not. He's just playing for a Newcastle team that just kind of knows how to score and play for him. He's not actually better than Sesko, this water milk human. RD United says, I hate running. I used to cycle a lot. Yeah, and also running messes up my knees, RD United, man. I'm 6'5", bro. Every little boom, I'm like a big giant. Every step is like boom, boom, boom. And my knees are just getting messed up every single step. Um, I like walking a lot, but these days pollution is at the top. I play sometimes, but I'm a defender. Yeah, Shivam, you're right. Walking. Everyone keeps saying walking is just walk. If you're not on the running thing, just walk. And everyone keeps telling me just walk, bro. Just walk. It feels good. You still get a bit of cardio from it. You still get your heart racing. You still exercise the heart. Listen, you need to keep exercising and training that heart muscle. So when it has to do some crazy stuff when you're 70, when it has to just pump when you're 70, it will do it. Just work it out. Exercise your heart muscles, bro. Exercise your lungs, bro. With all this COVID stuff, we don't know what all this stuff is going to do to us here in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time. So that's all I'm saying, people. Wow, we've deviated well, from football. No, we're still talking about football, sport, fitness. Scanning the pitch. Now imagine ice hockey players scanning and being aware at up to 45. Yeah. You're right. There's some sports, TK, where your decision making skills, yeah, and your ability to absorb information around you, yeah, compute it, understand it, interpret it all like in a split second, yeah, and then do your action. You like sometimes people forget, yeah, to play sport, yeah, you need a degree of intelligence, bro. Not the same kind of intelligence. There's different types of intelligence, right? Different types, but you kind of have to be smart. You gotta have a brain to play sport because you have to absorb everything around you in a split second and make a split second decision constantly throughout the game. It's not easy to do. Um, I love ice skating. It's sick. What figures? She rams him. I hope in the coming next few games we put more than enough crosses in the box when Sesko plays. Yeah, I know that must have annoyed you, Shivam. I think was it you and TK that was talking about the fact that when Xerxes was playing, we were putting hella crosses in the box. When Sesko plays, yeah, we're like, what? Crossing? Crosses? Why are we doing that? We're looking at the 6'5" guy who's actually good at headering, and we're like, crosses in the box? What a we I ain't gonna lie, guys. That Dallo cross, yeah, for Ahmad's first goal. I have a go at. Listen, me and Dallo are not best friends. We're not best friends. But that Dallo, I don't understand Dallo. I think Dallo has a good cross in him. Why doesn't he put in more good crosses? Human body isn't designed for high impact activities like running. Luke Shaw. All right, guys, we need to sort the Discord out as well. I keep saying it. I think we've almost patterned it, so we're gonna release it soon as well. Big up the chat. It's been a good show. We've spoken about a lot of things. We've spoken about the two main things. Bruno's quotes, which some people in the chat, Tim, for instance, has said the quotes are not new. The quotes are not new, but we spoke about them. We spoke about the impact of them. You gave your opinion. I gave my detailed thought, as I usually do. We spoke about Kobbie Mainoo. Spoke about the manager's thoughts about the game, his ideas, and that's really it. That's really it, guys. It was a good show. Even though like the news was only about 2 or 3 pieces of news, I think today's show was one of the better shows we've had for a while. I mean, we usually have good shows, but today was a good show. So big up people. It was lovely conversing, having a chat about stuff. Always is with this community. Always is. Big up the community. 600. We keep going. We keep pushing. 601 now. Oh, so we got a subscriber during the Red Devil United. Of course we did. I'll make sure I subscribe to Red Devil United as well. Who knows? We could pattern up a show together as well. Who knows? We'll talk about it. We need to start doing collaborations. You guys know that this channel needs collaborations. Let's be honest with each other. It doesn't need collaborations, but I think an aspect of this show or this channel that could elevate this channel would be some real good collaborations. I think we can all understand. We can all admit that without being insecure. So yeah, we keep moving. We keep moving. We keep pushing. Make sure you smash the like, people, on your way out as well. Big up everyone. Dallo and Amrim are best friends, says Shibam. TK. TK did his thing. Whoa, TK. TK, is it bad of me to ask you how much you paid for them? Because I've been hearing the most, TK. Is it naughty of me to ask you how much the tickets cost, TK, for opening match tickets as well? I don't know how you secured that, bro. Oh, unknown teams as of yet. Okay, that's big. That's big. What you gonna do, TK? Are you gonna live stream? I TK gonna live stream the opener. TK. That's funny. We don't know what it could be, so it could be Madagascar against Panama. Well, either way, bro, you secured tickets for the opening game in the World Cup, man. Like, and the prices that I've seen, yeah, have been absolutely disgraceful, bro. This is why I'm an anti-capitalist, bro. Even though I take part in it. Hypocrite much. but I'm anti-capitalist. Um, Madagascar, Panama. You know, you're funny. Shivam, let us know. Let us know who, and I'll message him. Let us know, Shivam. Message me. I've got my email. Where's my email? Is my email address should be on my bio. So you guys email me. Give me some links. Give me who. Just chosenwisdomfootball@gmail.com. Send me a couple emails and then see who I can collab with, because like you guys said, it could bring the channel to another level. Having me, we tried it with Mains, we tried it with a few others, it didn't work. But having me have just chop it up with someone else, argue with someone else. Cause you know me, I like to argue, guys. You guys know me, and I want to argue with someone. Sometimes I wake up in an argumentative mood, so it'll be fun. It will be. Um, Live stream collab. Yeah, the opening game is usually the host nation. TK got them gifted. Federal government level. TK, I don't want you. I don't want you to come back on the channel until you sort out my Canadian visa. TK is not allowed back on this channel unless he sorts out my Canadian visa, bro. Have had enough. Man has been gifted tickets. What about me, TK? What about me? Guys. All right. Flip it there. 2 hours, guys. 2 hour stream. Well done, people. Oh no, Shibam. All right, mains. I'm not gonna lie. I decided not to do a stream with mains because every single stream I did about 3 or 4 with him, and every single stream I did with mains, I had to really get him to be on. Try to get him to be on time. Basically, I don't want to. I don't think it's really nice to be saying these things out publicly anyway. But to cut the long story short, I don't believe Mains was as serious about this as I was. That's just it. I'm very serious about my stuff, about collaborating and all these things. And YouTube, listen, even if I get 10 views, my face is out there on the internet for millions of people to see. So I need to have a person to be on job, on par with me. And I don't feel like he was. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. I think that's a fair way of saying it. I saw out your visa. Bring cat pillow. What about Raven? What do you mean? You're silly. All right, guys. Mains was serious about gym. I don't think Mains has been in the gym anytime in his life, bro. Anytime in his life. That's not him. That's not Mains. Like Mains is a cool guy. Don't get it twisted. Mains is a cool guy. I just need, if I'm doing a show on YouTube, and if I'm gonna respect you guys, that's the thing. It's a show for you. You guys, without you guys, this channel doesn't even exist. Yeah, it does, but I will have one person watching me. So I need to respect you guys and give you guys good content as much as possible. And I don't know if I could do that with mains as well. So, but as much as you guys are laughing about it, you guys like mains. You guys keep laughing about mains. You guys actually like mains. You like mains is a cool guy. I don't think like he's just not serious. That's it. That's it. Mains had that massive laptop that was half the size of his room. You know what I remember? I remember the light going out and you guys just I remember the light going out. Uh mm, I don't get it, TK. You've lost me. Wrestling. What about me? What about Raven? Back in the day. I think you lost me. I'm gonna have to Google that, TK. I think you lost me. Shivam. I remember Batista. Give me what I want. I know Raven the wrestler in Raven the wrestler, but he was not in. He was in WCW first before he went to WWF. Raven. Anyway, all right, guys, that's the show. Good show. Thank you for joining. Remember to smash the like, turn on your notifications, subscribe if you are new. The MVP today is, of course, Shivam. Big up Shivam today. Big input today. He was on. He was on one today. Shivam was definitely on one today. Um, and also Devo. Devo has some good. Devo challenged me. I like to be challenged, and I also challenged Devo on some point. So I like that stuff. So big up Devo, also new to the channel. And of course, RD United, my guy. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy your Wednesday, hump day, which means we've got 2 more days, and it's Friday, which means we are nearer to the weekend, which means we play on Sunday at 4:30, and it's against. Wait, who's our next game? Let me see, guys. It can't be Everton because we haven't played all our games yet. We haven't played all our games yet. After speaking 2 hours, my brain's fried. My brain is actually fried. Speaking constantly. Oh, oh shit! Aston Villa. Oh no, we got Villa away from home on Sunday at 4:30. Oh no, without Ahmad and Mbimo. Oh, slappy. We don't know if Delit's going to be back. All I'm going to hear is Morgan Rogers' hat trick. All I'm going to hear is Morgan Rogers! Morgan Rogers has scored his second goal and it's Aston Villa 3. Oh, man. Jaden can't play because he's unknown. No, man. I'm not even thinking about it right now. We will do that at the match preview, which is on Friday. I'm not even trying to bother my brain right now thinking about Aston Villa. Big up everybody. Have a good Wednesday, and I will see you guys Friday, 7:15 normal time for the match preview and the press conference reaction. Big up yourselves, and I'll see you guys later.